Actually, Simon, yeah, I do have a question for you, and it's regarding you putting somebody's address on Facebook. I mean, I personally didn't agree with you doing it, and I'll be honest about that. I thought it was wrong. No matter what the reasons were, I still think it was wrong. Um, so I'd like you to not defend yourself, but explain, just for other people, because obviously it was a very emotive subject, because privacy is somebody's privacy. You might.
Yeah, okay. There's quite a bit of history to this, and it's not quite as straightforward as Green Arrow would have you believe. Now, first off, I will explain, or I will start by explaining that I assumed that the address that I published, and I did do it, there's no ifs or buts about it, and it was wrong. I'll put my hands up now and say it was wrong, but I assumed it was Green Arrow's address. I had no idea it was his mother's address, and to this day I don't know whether the guy's telling the truth and it was his mother's address. But either way, it was the wrong thing to do. But if there is any justification in doing what I did, the situation is far more complex than, as I say, Green Arrow will have you believe. What actually happened was I've got a banner ad on Green Arrow's website for Land and People. And it was an image that I created that was run on the BNP website, and it was an image of my wife and my baby daughter. Now, I had no issues with that photo being used of my wife and daughter either on the BNP website or on Green Arrow's website. But when Green Arrow started publishing on his website, calling me Violet, whatever it is, Elizabeth Violet, traitor, red, scumbag, and everything else, hideous name calling that he's calling me, and I'm reading these comments about me, personal attacks on me, and they're being made to the backdrop of an image of my wife and daughter. Furthermore, the comments that are being put on there are from people saying that they want to drive down to Cornwall and give me a slap, beat me up, and I should be hung from a lamppost. Now, bear in mind, my wife's mother and father and brother and her family can Google my name, come across Green Arrow's website and see their daughter's face and their granddaughter's face on a page that is calling for the father of their grandchildren to be hung from a lamppost and beaten up and, tarred and feathered or whatever else. I just put it to Green Arrow incredibly politely on many, many occasions. I said, Green Arrow, Paul, Morris, whatever your name is, Paul, if you want to slag me off and call me a traitor, you're free to do so. I don't have any issue with that. You can say what you like about me, but don't do it with a photo of my wife and daughter next to it. Please remove the picture. That's all I'm asking. You can slag me off as much as you like, but please remove the picture. He ignored me. So I asked him again. He ignored me. I asked him again. He ignored me. I asked him again. Still politely, he ignored me. Then my wife sent him one email explaining the situation, asking politely if he could remove the image. Again, he ignored it. In the end, and he kept publishing he eventually published my comment calling me Elizabeth Violet and a traitor and everything else. So I sent one email to Green Arrow and said, listen, if you want to play hardball and you want to play dirty, then I'll play dirty too. And this is what I'll do. I don't want to do it, but I will do it. Now, it was wrong, but as I say, unfortunately, if I'm on the floor and somebody is stamping on my head, don't blame me if I get up and hit them with a paving slab, because I will do what I need to do to survive an attack of that nature. And if Green Arrow doesn't like fighting dirty, then I suggest that he doesn't pick a fight with me. It really is that simple. The guy had ample opportunity to remove that image, and he was asked very politely, and he didn't. As somebody's typed there, two wrongs don't make a right. I accept that. I accept what I did was a mistake, but you need to direct your questions at Green Arrow as much as you direct them at me. Why the hell didn't the guy just remove it on the 10th time of being asked politely?
My name is Caution Crusader. We have received this tape of Simon Bennett making accusations against the Green Arrow, and we feel it's only fair that Green Arrow has the right to respond to these allegations.
Yeah, thank you, Caution Crusader. First of all, congratulations on that great video you made about the Fascist Council over that car parking incident, and thank you for giving me an opportunity to respond to Simon Bennett's allegations and lies about me. I think the first thing to let it be known, Caution, is that the address that Simon Bennett released was not my actual address. It was rather that of my mother, whose address I used for a short time after selling my own home and relocating to a new address after I sold my old home. In fact, I've never even slept at my mother's house, let alone lived there. I'm ashamed to say I don't visit her often enough, but these events have made me start to visit her a little bit more often now. So some good came out of it. Before I refute Bennett's lies, I'd like to point out to the listeners just what sort of treason Bennett carried out. I believe that this current nonsense is, in my opinion, a diversion on his and others' part to draw attention away from his original treason against the party and the British people. Consider this. He brought down the BNP website 2 days before the general election. He sabotaged the BNP email communications for a number of weeks, possibly months prior to the elections. I did bring this to the party's attention, but wasn't listened to, sadly. Then he totally destroyed the BNP emails communications 2 days before the elections, one of the most critical times when BNP officials needed to be in touch. Simon Bennett denied them access to communications. He then removed the BNP chairman's European Union website. He went on then to destroy the informative Land and People website and destroy years' worth of work and research on issues of interest to the entire world, not just the British National Party. And then, in a last act of spite, he even went on to destroy the website of the Christian Council of Great Britain, that it was created for the Christian members of our country who supported the British National Party. Now, with regards to the releasing of the address, I can tell you this was the sequence of events. Being the sole moderator on the GA site, I can't be monitoring events 24/7. I try to, but I can't physically be there. Even I need to sleep now and again. So the first inclination that I had that Bennett was going bananas was very late in the evening when I opened the comments for the final audit of the night and received the following comment. Paul, you have 1 hour to remove the Land and People banner of my wife and daughter. Failure to do so, and I will Twitter your name and home address to 27,000 people and also publish it in the Facebook page that has 25,000 fans. Fans not of Simon Bennett, incidentally, but fans of the BNP. I will also pay you a visit myself. That's a promise. Well, as you can imagine, I thought there's an interesting little comment to receive rather late at night. But to be honest, I didn't know what he was talking about. In fact, looking at the time, I see that that comment actually arrived after the deadline, or possibly minutes before the deadline, in which he announced he would be pulling the trigger. So, to be honest, I didn't have a clue what he was talking about. I wondered if one of our writers had written something about it. And when I discovered nothing, I went on to Pal Talk and I asked some of the guys there if they had any idea. And this can be verified. None did. None of them had a clue. And so off to bed I went,